who created you is a bad work of art. You see, your gods, who are the Britons, were determined not to let go of that part of the world. They, seeing that they had just previously lost India.
Thanks for clicking on this channel. Please subscribe to FO's blog history and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified. Benin Kingdom cannot prosper in present-day Nigeria, say UKGB. According to a member of United Kingdom Great Benin, UKGB, Nigeria is a bad work of art because it was not created for the benefit of the different ethnic groups that make up the country. The British never wanted Nigeria to get independent after they lost India. They wanted to create a super economic nation by merging the different ethnic groups together. The chaotic situation in Nigeria did not happen today, but happened as a result of poor judgment. They created Nigeria without consulting the inhabitants of the place they wanted to colonize. He further said United Kingdom of Great Benin, UKGB, has been thinking. The British put people of these different ethnic groups together as if they were sheep. Please sit down and listen to him.
If you are wondering why Nigeria is so chaotic the way it is, if you're already tired of things in Nigeria, or if you're already overwhelmed and suffocating as a result of events in Nigeria today, do not forget to always attribute things to the appropriate quarters. You see, Nigeria has even admitted, by those who created you, is a bad work of art. You see, your gods, who are the Britons, were determined not to let go of that part of the world. They, seeing that they had just previously lost India as a colony, they were hell-bent on holding on to that geographical location in that area. As a result of that, their kings, was making edicts. Their parliaments were coming up with acts. And they were running helter-skelter to find ways. There were various constitutional conferences held here and there by them in an attempt to create what they termed a super economy that could not be attained without forcing different ethnic groups together, completely different ethnic groups together. There was no way that dream of creating a super country that would be economically vibrant on the African continent and international stage without merging. Basically, without merging dynamites and tying them all together from various parts of the country, there's a different ethnic groups. So what you see today did not happen by accident. It happened as a result of poor judgment and desperate judgment of foreigners who were holding these conferences without any active or substantial participation of the inhabitants of the area that they are trying to manipulate. You see, I am a proud Benin dude. I am an extremely proud indigene of the greatest kingdom of the world, Great Benin. And the United Kingdom of Great Benin Empire, of which I am a proud member, we are doing our thinking. You cannot herd thinking people together as sheep hoping that we become participants in the parades of the pained. You cannot herd descendants of the most powerful soldiers, warriors on the planet, as you would herd cattle, hoping that we will become proud participants in the carnival of the cowards. You see, the guys, such as Peter Smithers, who was one of the, the former secretary of the Council of Europe back in the 60s and all that. He was part and parcel of the creation of Nigeria. He came out around in the 90s, thereabout, in one of their newspaper the Times, to lament the horror that has been done to that part of the world by trying to bring together ethnic groups of diverse beliefs, diverse way of life, completely opposing way of lives, and merging them under so-called federation. He lamented that a blunder had been made. You see, all of them know, they are aware that the experiment known as Nigeria was an abomination. He did themselves realize that. You, the so-called Nigerians, you, the inhabitants who are living in hell and hoping and praying to God to come undo that which has been done to you and which is being perpetuated by your indolence and ignorance. You are praying to God. Have you ever asked yourself, how many times during the proceedings in the British Parliament, the British, who are actually your lords and gods, who created you and tagged you and carved a path for you and your descendants to follow, a path of doom, have you ever asked yourself, how come they don't mention God or Jesus during their proceedings in their parliament? These are the ones who made you. They carved out your path in life. They carved out your destiny and those of your children. Don't you realize that? Don't you realize that one of the reasons the Great Benin history is not taught in schools is because that was one of the toughest opposition that they faced. That was the last time a human being actually acted like a human being in the interest of his people. The puppets, the charlatans you have today as leaders, they are not acting in the interest of their people because they do not know what it means. They were handpicked. They are puppets. They are agents. They were handpicked to do what they are doing. Do you idiots realize that Aguiyi Ironsi, who became one of the leaders of Nigeria, do you people actually realize that he was the tour guide to the Queen in 1954 when he visited Nigeria? Do you think it's by coincidence that he became the leader? You see, he was assassinated, quite all right, but nothing happened by accident, nothing happened by chance, especially when it comes to the Europeans. And you know that well of the 1884 conference in Berlin, led by Otto von Bismarck, where Africa was carved. Haven't you heard that if you are not at the table, you are on the table? During these conferences, there was no one African participants. They came to the areas known as the Kingdom of Benin, the Empire of Benin, and what they saw there blasted them out of water. You see, they met thinking people, strategizing people who were not willing to lay down, who were not willing to be their footmat. But like typical armed robbers, They came prepared. And then they robbed. But we today, we are telling you guys that we are not going to lie down no more. That we are not going to be participants in your carnival of cowards. We are not going to be participants in your parades of the perverted. We are not going to be, you see, we are not going to merge into the party of clowns. No, 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 no. No. They kill this, they kill that. In order to deter anyone who will rise and think for his people. Guess what? You can kill as much as you want. You can kill as many as you want. You're going to be held accountable. You're going to be held accountable. You are going to have to atone for your sins against the greatest kingdom on the planet. So it's time for you guys to start thinking. It's time for things to get done as normal creatures, because even animals do not just lay down for you to step on them. No, every creature has their venom, defensive venom. It's time for you to look inwards.